What's up everybody on YouTube? This is Root. I'm going to make a small video here on showing an exploit. Yes, I never do exploits, but here's an exploit that I found on YouTube. I'm going to put the link to the channel in the description because I don't want to steal it from him. It's the Blobber. It's a small channel, so here's some love, dude. So basically, we're going to create a custom nation who's going to get up to 1600 points in value, 2 times 800, and then also have access to all achievements. Actually, not the custom nation achievements for some reason. You'll see. So basically what we do first, you don't select any country and you change the date, but not by using the buttons, but by typing in the year here. So you type the year. We're going to go to 1820. You can do this with any year, but it's in 1820 that you have the largest nations. The largest the better. This you can do with anyone that has roughly around 1500 development. So the two nations really available are Russia and King. But if you want to do it with less points, you can do it with the Ottomans, I suppose, with Spain, with like whoever the hell you want. But we'll do it with King here. The problem with Russia is going to be states. Basically, the states in King are larger. So the downside of this is you get Confucian. So if you want an actually good religion, you have to find something else. But we'll do it with King. So we're at 1820 and we'll form a custom nation. Here, we're going to form a custom nation. We'll start with whatever you start with. The capital doesn't matter. And we're going to take all the land we can. Now this is going to take a little bit, but we'll do this. Oh right, I need to connect this. Okay. So I've done that a few times and it works, but sometimes in the first months the game will crash, and when you come back, the save is not there anymore. Well, the save is there, but you'll understand, but when you start your custom nation doesn't exist. And if the game crashes until you create the custom nation in the game, then when you come back, the custom nation cannot be created. So you have to start over. So let's hope it doesn't happen here. I'm going to take everything. As you can see, eventually it will be worth more than the 800 points, but it doesn't matter because all we're taking here, our points are only useful here for land. Everything else is useless. Again, you can do this any way you want with land. You can take less land if you want. We're just going to show the extreme here. Oh, I forgot this one. The only limitation you have is all the land you take needs to be in the same nation. That's why we're going to 1820 to get the largest nations possible. If you take land in multiple countries, like we can take this from Portugal, but you're not going to start with it. You'll have a core on it, so you can reconquest if you want, but you're not going to start with it. So we took all the land we have in King. Now we're worth 893. It's not a big deal. The name and all that doesn't matter. We'll fix that later on. So what we'll do, remove all the points again. None of that matters. So we're going to lower this as much as possible. We're going to take Craven. This is the cheapest trait. We'll do the same thing here. For some reason, when you don't have an heir, like you can remove the heir now in 1.19, but it's worth more than having a 0/0 heir that's 0 years old. So we're going to take a 0/0 that's 0 years old because, again, it doesn't matter. The same with the queen. The queen isn't worth much point, but she is if you give her a negative trait. She's worth a few points. So we do this, and then we'll go make this a princedom. Be careful what you do in this and in here, because a lot of things that you do here you can't be modified later on. We're going to take Western Tech. It doesn't affect our technology, but it affects your units. And at the early game will be so big that our neighbors don't matter if our units are weaker. In the late game, it's going to be better to have Western units. Religion, be careful, because unlike a normal custom nation in which the religion changes, like all the land you take in a normal custom nation will be your religion. Here it's not the case. It's going to revert to the starting religion. So we'll still take Confucian, otherwise we'll explode. Culture, you do this whatever you want. And now we still have too much, so we're going to have remove a few provinces. So what I'm doing here is basically remove the least valuable here. And here we go. We are at 800 points. Beijing, everything else doesn't matter. All this will be changed. The ideas don't matter. Your ruler doesn't matter. This will stay this, but it doesn't matter. We'll be able to fix that in-game very fast. Just make sure that everything's fine, because that's more like... Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so here we are. Now we click done. Now we're still in 1820 with this custom nation, right? But what we'll do is again go back here. Do not use the buttons. Do not use the... what do you call that? Historical dates, I suppose. You need to go here and type the year. If you click this, it's going to give you this. So basically in 1.17, before Rights of Man, there was a glitch that was letting you be able to basically own all the world before even starting the game by doing this multiple times. But they've added this now that kills that exploit. If you click OK, then the custom nation will just disappear. We're not going to do that. Thing is, if you also click those buttons, it does the same thing, but for some reason, if you type the year, it doesn't do it. But it's not the only thing that they did to fix it. Well, custom nation doesn't exist, right? Because we clicked this instead, we changed the date. It doesn't exist. It doesn't matter. It still exists somewhere, because when you click custom nation and you click modify, you're back into your custom nation. But it has no land. So now here we're worth -37. Here you'll want to change the flag if you want to change it. We'll go with whatever. That was fine. I'll put the Confucian emblem because I like putting my... That's fine. You can change the name, but it doesn't matter. I've tried multiple times, multiple ways, and if you put a name, I've put that multiple times and it doesn't do anything. But whatever. Here, you can't change the name of your ruler, sadly, and you can change his stats though. But why are the stats worth no points? Because when you start, he's not going to exist. So it's pointless to put points here. The hair will not exist either, even though the points are valued something as a value. All the rulers here, everything here will not exist when you start. So it's pointless. Here you cannot change anything. Like, I can do that, it's still going to be despotic monarchy. You can change the map graphics, because that has nothing to do with the game. You can change your technology group, your religion, and your culture. That's already done. The points here, we'll put them here. Now, what you'll need to do, the problem when you start, and I'll show it when we start, is you're going to have an extreme number of rebels, and you'll start with no army. So, what you need to do is to make sure that you can at least get stable. So you have two options, either go tolerance or go conversion. We're going to conversion because on the long run it's going to be better. One thing that sucks with custom nations is tolerance, because you have to take two ideas to do basically the same thing, tolerance of Athens and tolerance of heretics. We do start with tolerance of heretics +2 because with Confucian, so that's not a big deal. And now we're going to take the ideas. I should have saved. I didn't save it, right? That's annoying. I've done that earlier on, and I've dealt with the ideas, but I didn't save the setup. Anyway, what you can basically the point here. I'm not going to use this one. For those who want to see what I'm going to do with the other one that I did earlier on without recording it, well, just on twitch.tv/callroot. Info is in the Comments. So basically you can put all the ideas you want up to 800. So that's where you see 1600 points. We've spent 800 points with the land. The land's not there yet, you'll say. We'll see. And we can say points, use 800 up to 800 points with ideas. Doesn't matter what you take, as long as it's under 800 ideas. So all of that is done. You click done again. Still not here, right? Now we're going to back in. We're going to click modify. And then we're going to click delete. Boom, it's 1444 and Qing or Qian is on the map. And yes, you can choose king, and since you start with Qian, you can do all achievements. And now we can place Qian. You can do that if you want. Whatever. You can play them if you want, but you'll have a slightly small problem if you decide to play as Qian. And it is that the nation that spawns, that doesn't exist at the start, but that you spawn with this exploit, will start with no core whatsoever. With all the land we took, whenever it decides to start, with all the land you took, it's going to be a slight problem, you know? As you can see, 81 unrest in every single province. But what you can do, first we're going to ruin this guy. We're going to have to fight him. So I'm going to just delete all his armies and all his fleet. And now the thing is, you go to leasable subjects, you're here with every single province. The only province you're not going to get is the capital, because you cannot, if you release a nation that has a core on your capital, still keep your capital. The king will keep Beijing, but we get everything else. And here we are. This custom nation has cores on everything. So we're core. We still have rebels, though, because our religious unity isn't the gutter. It's not too bad, actually. But we also start with low legitimacy. We started with a good ruler here. That's interesting. As I've said, this guy doesn't exist. You see him here. That's the guy we created, 0 years old with 000. But as soon as you get another heir, this guy will disappear. I'm not sure if he actually exists. In all the tries I've tried, I've got an heir, normal heir that overrode him. I don't know if he exists. But you have to rule 20 years, and within 20 years there's a good chance that you're going to get an heir anyways. And from here, well, this is why we took the missionary strength and the 2 missionaries. And then you'll want, before doing anything else, you'll want to go to the 1st of December to dodge the crash, as I was explaining earlier on, because if you do too many things before the game registers that you exist, it's going to crash. Now, technically we're supposed... yeah. Okay, the other time I tried it, I've got the anti-Christian edicts, because Portugal had that. I know what I did different. Okay. If when you take your land in the first step of getting your points, if you take this province in setting up your land for your custom nation, as I said, when you start you're not going to get it because it's not in the country that you're going to release from, but you're still getting a core on this, and it's still Portugal that's going to get it, because all the land that you took with your custom nation at the beginning, when you remove the custom nation, when you go back to 1444 and you delete the custom nation, all the land returns to the nation that had it in 1820, which means that this is owned by Portugal. And being a neighbor of a Christian will give you a decision, anti-Christian edict, which is +2 missionary strength or -10 improved relation speed. So this is something that I think is better than... You're better taking this on. Taking this, you get less land, but you get that thing much earlier than you're supposed to, and anyway, where you are, Portugal is either to kill because he can't reach you. No one can sail here. Well, here. So whatever, you'll be able to take it anyways, and you'll have a core on it because you'll have to select it. I didn't do this here. But yeah, that's it. And then you can go on like removing your fort and whatever you want to do. You'll be able to. The other problem is you start without an army, but you're so big no one's going to attack you. You don't have manpower to start, but you'll be able to make so much money that you'll be able to hire mercs for your infantry. The only thing that you have left to do is when you start as a subject that just got created, you don't have any states, but again, you have cores all over the place, full cores, so you can just make those cores. Just follow this tab here in states and territories, get it into order of development, and state these. You only have 10 states available because you start as a duchy, but with all the money you'll make once you state all that, all the income you make, and with the estates, you'll be able to get +3s across the board. And with those +3s, soon enough, you'll get an event that gives you +50 prestige. And at 50 prestige and more, because you have enough land, you'll be able to become a kingdom. When you become a kingdom, you get another 25 prestige, which pushes you over to 75, which makes you an empire, and that's 10 more states that you can create from there. That's it. And again, just to show, you have War Conqueror here and one Fate and everything that normal nations can form, but you don't have the ones for custom nations. Here it is. Again, I've not invented this one. I just figured a way to deal with the rebels. You'll have some rebels, but since you're going to state shit, most of your stuff, basically you can just increase autonomy. It's not going to affect your income much. And there are some rebels that you can kill once you have your army going. Again, do not build your infantry with this, build it with the money you'll make once you state everything. Most of the states that you're gonna make are on the shore anyways. So just to show you, just core all your shore. These are the largest states in China. And there's one inland, I think it's this one. There's a 33 city inland. And there's get into. I'm just gonna do this one, okay, there was a 22 that I clicked here. Let another month pass to get your income. This is just to show the income you'll be making. Making 21 right now, but you can also remove the other forts for 13 ducats more. And now from here you can give land to those guys, take money from the merchants, which will be about 300 ducats. And here we are. With all that money you can get your infantry with mercs and use your manpower for your cavalry and then kill your rebels. It's going to take about 5 years, and after those 5 years you have a truce with Qing right now. After those 5 years you can reconquest Qing. Well, you're subject right now, so you'll have to break free and then take Qing, and then you can take these guys if you want. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you next time.